things I don't know. Clean your hands every time. Save yourself and then the ones you are living with. So do not panic, yeah, just stay hygienic. Clean yourself, your environment. It's a deadly disease, but we can defeat it. And then just buy Herahasu, you know it. We meet another day, and then horrible. Stop. Out of the out of the bed, long found tanker, yeah. Other room more than 5 years. Corona, I go kill a man. Corona, leave me more than land. Corona, taking it down there. Corona is a deadly one. All you to read and understand. Corona, leave me more than land. Corona, yeah. Avoid and take it every day. Public coughing.
Avoid handshaking, public coughing is a no-no. Asan, you know, I usually like playing this song, listening to the message again, you know, and having it pass through out there to the audience. But, you know, today is a different day. It's a day that, like, I'm really excited, you know. I'm like, okay, we can cut this music out and talk to these beautiful people that we have here. Assalamu alaikum, good evening. Nayandev, everybody here. It's good to have you all here, especially coming back on the COVID for many reasons. COVID has been fluctuating. The numbers are going down in some parts of the world and rising at exponential rates in other parts of the world. You know, but yeah, in the Gambia, it seems to be a bit calm. Our people on the ground have been doing a lot of work. We thought today we should come together and, you know, Delo Njukal Asan, right?
Yeah, Samba, comme no ko waxee rek tey dañ jagleel programme bi health workers yi maanaam ñuy liggéey si bunti wérgu yaram bi Gambia ak ñu nekk bitim réew pour wax leen gàcce gaalawma si seen liggéey bu rafet bi just like you said, COVID in the Gambia is relatively stable. We hope that this continues because like what is happening in other parts of the world is they experience a second wave. In fact, some are even say that there's a third wave of COVID-19. So New York, hopefully very soon dinañ am vaccine for COVID-19 must be. Comme na ko waxee si commencement bi rek tey moom dañ jagleel programme bi pour sant suñ liggéeykat yi nekk si bunti wérgu yaram bi. So it's good to be back on this, very important. And we look forward to having more people, especially healthcare workers. ñu ngi saako tamit ñoo xamante ne dañ dee jëfandikoo lopitaan yi pour ñu ñëw bokk si programme bi, you know, ñu tànk suñu liggéey ñoo xamante ne ñoo nekk si bunti wérgu yaram bi. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Asan. You know, so they now start, you know, and people, you know, introduce and Boba. First of all, I think I'm seeing a couple here, you know, I want to start with them. I want to know who they are. Assalamu alaikum. We can hear you though.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam.
Great.
Daf doon jël time tuuti rek pour mo unmute ko.
Okay.
Dem na léegi so man moom maa ngi tudd Ndeye Mariam Diop di suma profession moom it's I'm a law student currently studying doing my master's in international business law, and I'm also the co-founder of the Ndeye Mariam Jagne Family Foundation. Wow, and this is my husband Pa Modou. He can introduce himself. Munna nuyo yeen.
Assalamu alaikum. Man la Pa Modou Jagne, national team player. Mi ma ñëpp de xamee Nda, ñu ma de ooyee Nda Jagne. Waaw, man co-founder Ndeye Mariam Jagne Family Foundation. maa ngi leen a gërëm bu baax di fekkee seen programme bi.
Wow, jërëjëf. I like the humility there though. You are saying national team player. Why are you not saying national team captain? Good. You're the lead guy, yeah?
No, I'm a national team player.
Good to have you here, okay, the Nda and Mariam. We also have my very own boss, Aminata Haidara, Sambu.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Aminata Haidara, and I used to be a youth activist while in Gambia, but now I'm a nurse. I work in the medical field. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my boss. I have had many bosses in my journey, She's among the finest. Seriously, not saying it because he's here. Very, servant leader, amazing person. And my own wife, Munas.
Thank you.
You're muted.
You introduce your wife.
Maimuna Ba, how are you doing? That's Maimuna Ba of Ahmad Tijan Ba. Also a nurse, right? Good. So
yeah.
Good. So we have
and the Taliban of Bakausu, don't forget.
okay, a nurse and Taliban of Bakausu. Good to have you here, Popular. Then we have Seyzin Bara. Sinabu Bara Cham. Say, are you with us? You are muted.
Yeah.
Good to have you.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Sena Beach. I'm nurse midwife, Ministry of Health.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, I think today's program, it's going to be a very easy process. Easy as in we are just showing our gratitude for the different health or frontline workers we have in the Gambia. And it's easy to show gratitude to people who deserve it, right? So if it was to show gratitude to Samba on a COVID-related issue, you'll be scratching your brain trying to think of what possible contribution has Samba made that I can thank him for. But for people who on a daily basis are going out there, risking their life to serve people and save lives, it's easy to show gratitude to them. So today what we'll do is, first of all, we'll start by saying, Asan, how is it like? How is it? What are the challenges that health workers are facing, and why is it good for us to be gathering here and saying thank you to them? We will do that before we start going to our guests. Hassan.
Yeah, it's important because we all knew at the beginning of COVID-19, people were afraid for Africa because they thought that Africa with its fragile health system, Africa with its multitude of challenges, they will capitulate to the COVID-19 pandemic. Mm-hmm. So, in fact, there were some experts, public health experts, who thought that measures should be put in place to help Africa, especially with their fears that mortalities might increase. But to the surprise of many, Africa withstood, or it's withstand, because COVID-19 is still ongoing, the bad side of COVID-19. Fortunately, nobody wants to lose a human being to a disease. Nobody wants to see somebody suffers, going through the phases of the disease. Nobody wants the economic ramifications that are happening right now. Nobody wants all the people that will be pushed into poverty because of COVID-19. So having said this, I think it's important that the people who help Africa, the people that help to position Africa in such a way that they don't feel the brunt of COVID-19, deserve a big thank you and a gratitude. Because mostly what you see, especially on social media, health workers are being negatively appraised for issues that, in a way, you could say some are within their control, but most times it's beyond their control. Because when we talk about African health system, we have to talk about human resource. Going by the data, African countries have not yet achieved the minimum threshold of healthcare workers per population. When it comes to resources, financial, material, and otherwise, you realize that Africa is still way behind. So with all these challenges that the continent face, we still had that health workers that gave in their 100+% to make sure that Africa does not suffer the consequences that other countries are facing. So coming back to Gambia, we also know that Gambia is also facing the same challenges in terms of human resources, in terms of shortage of equipment, shortage of medicines and vital supplies. But with all these challenges, Gambian healthcare workers did their best. In the process, some got infected, few also died. May their soul rest in peace. So it is important that we recognize them for the hard work that they do. We celebrate them. This is why we said we should dedicate this program to healthcare workers. But we are not limiting ourselves to only Gambian healthcare workers, because we also have healthcare workers, Gambians, who are practicing in other parts of the world. And by extension, all other healthcare workers around the world to say a big thank you to them. So the significance of today's program cannot be overestimated.
Definitely, it cannot be. We'll start with Ndeye Mariam and Nda, you don't travel this year from Europe to Gabon to Gambia back to Europe. I know that amulo time to nopaleko or recover. Why still you all at you took time to be part of this? Why do you think is this important? Join Shelly. Why do you think it's important that you will take time from your recovery and you join Shelly?
Well, health mom moo gën a important lu nekk si soo amee wér gu yaram rek den si nga mën a tal mu mën a nekk yaa ngi dem around so te people ñi nga xam ne ni ñoo nekkoon si biti di gis ne ni nit ñaa ngi am wér gu yaram suñ ma ooyee si loolu noonu dama kontaan pour ñëw pour mën a njukkal ñooñu noonu parce que gis nañ taxaw buñ doon taxaw si affaire Covid bii nii so loolu nekk na loo xam ne ni man dama si kontaan daal pour ñëw pour fekkee lii nii parce que dafa am solo trop si comme ni ma ko waxee rek nit ki nga xam ne ni mu ngi la jàppale si sa wérgu yaram kooku amuloo dara loo ko fay kooku danga ko war a jàppale noo ko mën a jàppale rek danga ko war a jàppale so moo tax man maa ngi kontaan pour ñëw pour nekk si programme bii nii ak lu ma soona yëpp moom dama fu mu nekk nii maa ngi feel 100% waat because of pour ñëw pour njukkal ñoo xam ne ni ñoo taxaw pour gis ne yaa ngi am wér gu yaram.
That's very true. Yéen both of you as a couple yàgg ngeen di liggéey si mbiri health amoon nañ fi Mariam mu wax ñu xam nga liggéey bi ngeen nekk ak motivation bi. Can you please just briefly again ngeen wax ñu the work you do and what is the main motivation for the work you do through your foundation?
Well, Samba foundation bi moom comme ni ma ko waxee woon last time bi soo gisee ñu commencé woon ko parce que ndaa moom bi mu amee 2 years la ñàkka yaayam si wàllum am doom ñu nekk fii nag comme baalal ñu de xale yi tëddi leen ñu nekk fii di waaw so ndaa moom bi mu amee 2 years si la ñàkkoon yaayam si affaire yi Mariam si la ñàkka moo ko tey nag bu nga naa feeñ rek bi mu amee 2 years si la ñàkka si la yaayam gaañu woon si wàllum am doom te ñun man fii laa amee suma doom yi and then you see ne healthcare system bi fii nii ak Gambia dafa different ñu feel ne lu nekk rek comme ñun tam mun nañoo try xool naka la ñoo dimbalee parce que affaire si lu mu rëy ku nekk am na lu ndaw loo ci mën a def te lu ndaw loolu ku nekk soo boolee lu ndaw loolu nga def ko foog naa ne at the end of the day we'll see a lot of differences so loolu moo taxoon ñu dooroon the foundation and since 2012 ñu ngi doon liggéey si ay wàllum dem si lopitaan yi di xool yenn bagage yi nga xam ne yenn things yoo xam ne soxla nañ ko fa si duñ leen mën a ñu dimbali leen ko def partnerships tam ak yenn lopitaan di def ay sensitization di sensitize nit ñi tam on the importance of donating blood ba pare daal comme si wàllum loo xam ne si wàllum affaire yi maternal health care daal si loolu lañ nekkoon tam di yëngu depuis 2012 ba tey.
Thank you jërëjëf thank you very much appreciate that liggéey bi ngeen nekk, and we hope you continue doing that. Now,
Yes.
okay, Pa Modou. so you had health workers in the Gambia directly. Now, léegi nekkoo di wax ak man wala Assane wala ñoom Aminata. Yaa ngi wax ak nurse yi ak docteur yu nekk Gambia directly on the screen. What will you tell them? Ban message nga amal gaay yi?
Waaw, man li ma leen a wax rek di leen gërëm rek parce que koo xam ne ni comme ni ma ko waxee rek ku laa dimbale sa wérgu yaram kooku amuloo dara loo ko fay. Yow sëñ na sa famille ñëpp ñu ngi toog ci kër bi ñoom ñu ngi génn 24 hours di liggéey di gis ne ni di meeg soo ne ni yow yaa ngi am sa wérgu yaram kooku noonu amuloo dara loo ko fay lu dut di ko gërëm di leen ñaanal yàlla gën leen a may kàttan bi gën leen a may xel bi gën leen a taxaw ñu gis ne ni lépp loo xam ne ni ñoom ñu ngi ko éenee pour si doomi aadama yàlla mun leen ko defaral ba pare di leen wax leen di leen ñaax tamit ne ñu gën a am patient pour di toppatoo nit ñi tamit si sooy toppatoo different kind of nit dafa métti so sacrifice nga dee def it so da nga need tamit pour am patient because of yaa ngi tase ak different kind of nit so loolu tamit rek neexut so foog nga am patient tamit pour mun a deal ak ñooñu noonu because ku nekk mu ngay ñëw ak façon ñi feebaram doo xam ne naka lam koo jëlee but yow mu fa nekk di ko dimbale foog nga am patient pour mun koo dimbale parce que man am na feebar yi nga xam ne dinga ko feebar yow na patient bi doo ko mun a am but ku laa dimbale foog mu mun a am patient pour mun laa dimbale calm la down bi nga xam ne nii yow feebar bi dina gën a mun a tax mu gaaw a wér because of soo feebaree tamit am na yenn stress yoo xam ne nii waruloo koo am nga lu mi so loolu du tax feebar bi mu gaaw a wér so man li ma leen a wax daal ñu gën a am patient ba pare tamit ñuy gën a waxtaan ak nit ñi nga xam ne ni tamit dañ leen mun a dimbali si yenn parce que am na yenn ñoo xam ne ni xëy na ñu si liggéeykaay yi si comme nurse yi nii xëy na am na yoo xam ne di nga ko mun a voice out pour nit ñi nekk si biti mun leen see dimbale so it's good tamit ñoom tamit ñu mun di waxaa ñoom bu baax outsiders yi nga xam ne nii tamit dinañ gën a mun a xam problème yi nga xam ne yooyu tamit ñoom ñu ngi ko face nga xam ne tamit private sector si ak ñeneen ak ñeneen dinañ leen mun a dimbale si loolu noonu.
Jërëjëf ndaa loolu leer na beautiful words there, and I think we have people like Senabu Cham in the building ñoom ñu ngi si health sector bi Asansa is in the health sector, and we have many people I can see Abdul Cham and other people in here, Ibrahim Huma, are all people in the health sector. I believe they are getting this information and this message and they will pass it there. Jërëjëf duma wax lu bari si football duma wax lu bari si football bi den liggéeyu moom macha allah ñu ngi ñaan daal comme que ñu ngi dese ñaari game nañ continuer ñaan bi rek.
yàlla baax na dinañ gën a góorgóorlu.
waaw gis nañ seen liggéey bi gis nañ commitment bi na continuer leen foofu rek ñun dinañ téye si support bi ak ñaan bi ñu jeexal liggéey bi then get to where we deserve.
yàlla dina ko def.
Inshallah, amin. Jërëjëf. I'll switch to Aminata Haidara. My boss, some few months ago you started conversation on having an appreciation platform for health workers in the Gambia. Why did you think this is important? You are a health worker, from your experience, why do you think there should be something like this?
The reason why is because, the COVID started in America, and it was really like, especially the state that I was in, Texas, it came to a state that it was so much difficult and hard to handle for healthcare workers. And my main objective was like emotional support and psychological support, which I and really needed when I was in the field, when I was really dealing with COVID patients. And that was the same thing that I wanted to like help those on the ground in the Gambia. It was unfortunate that it was unable to come through because of a lot of stuff, but I thank you for really supporting during those difficult times. So the main reason is like, when you work in the healthcare system, there's a lot of stuff that people don't know unless you're in the system. And emotional support, especially during COVID, is like you wake up in the morning, you go to work. Most of the people that work, like Juma will be like in line with me. You come home, most of the time you have like emotional breakdowns, because the first thing that you put in consideration is like, you are at risk, and you are not the only one that is at risk. Your family is also at risk. But as a healthcare worker, you always believe that you have a responsibility, and your responsibility is you are trained to make sure that you do this. And as many were saying, that it's a war that we need to face and we need to fight, and a lot like needed to be done in the ground in the Gambia. And the understanding that people were having is like, okay, this is the responsibility of the healthcare workers, and they need to do it. No, but not knowing that emotional and psychological support was something that is very important, especially like for us to do. And that was really my initiative, is just to help the healthcare workers in the Gambia. It was unsuccessful, but I was able to speak to some of them, especially those that were in the, like, end up infecting themselves, and how they were able to go through it, especially with their families and everything. So it was unable to be a huge thing. So it was just like individual healthcare workers that we were able to talk to. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't always have to be huge, right, Asan?
Yeah, you are right. And thank you, Aminata, for that wonderful foresight. I think it was timely because at some point the healthcare workers were really struggling because some of them were away from their families, because they work directly with people who are infected, so they cannot just go back home. So most of them were isolating in hotels and guest houses. So, and the healthcare workers themselves, imagine working in a hospital environment, and every day you go and say, when will I get COVID-19? What happened if I am exposed? What should I do if I'm exposed? What should I do with my family? So I think providing a psychosocial support to these frontline workers, patients and their families is very apt and paramount. So I think Samba, yeah, it's important, but we have some healthcare workers also on the platform. I guess maybe they will share their experience, how were they able to cope with the pressure that that they were exposed to, the pressure of fear of getting infected, the pressure of what should I do if I get exposed, like some of them were away from their families. And also, I mean, the psychosocial support like every human being goes through. So perhaps some of them can share their experience. And it's for this reason and many other reasons. That's why we thought that we should definitely say thank you to health workers.
Definitely. Yeah. So we have people like Abdul Cham, Ibrahim, and Huma. Can you please say hi, Cham and Huma, before we continue? We have also Prince Babukar Sankano from the National Coordination Secretariat too. Cham, are you with us? Huma?
Yes, we're with you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Hello. Abdul Cham?
Yes, Samba.
Yeah, so Abdul actually, Samba, Abdul used to work at the point of entry. Specifically, he works at the airport. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they also have their own experience because the airport was one of the main transit points for the COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So maybe Abdul, if you have anything to say, what were your experiences? How did you manage, especially the pressure of or the fear of getting infected, going back to your families, being isolated? Maybe you can share your experience.
Yeah, thank you very much, Asan and Samba. it was difficult initially at the start, but Alhamdulillah, we tried to manage and things were successful. Though at a point of entry, we have a lot of responsibilities, but at the time of this pandemic, we only screen passengers. Yeah, there are other responsibilities that we are not looking at due to the pandemic. But sometimes, as you said, we were afraid initially, but as time goes on, we had the psychosocial support and things were normal. Initially, if I because there was this time, some passengers, arriving passengers entered in my office, some of them from Korea, China, and they were coughing. It's like I had to go out from the office for a while, but at the end, it's very normal to me. Yes, I follow all the precautionary measures, and yeah, things work. And presently, I am part of the RRT. I am always at the sample collection site. Yeah, we interact with these people. But the vast majority of the people that we see are those traveling, and it's also another problem. The Gambia, those living in the country, if you're not traveling, you hardly come and do the test. So sometimes that's why most of them, if they ask me, there's no COVID now, but looking at the cases, they're decreasing. I will tell them that, have you done the test? Because I have a lot of them are still reluctant. They will tell you there's no COVID. So it's difficult. And we really appreciate this thing. Though there are a lot of challenges, but I think it's fine. We are on the right track. We pray that there is no second wave in the Gambia. Thank you.
Yeah, so Abdul, we are also talking with people that are not in the healthcare industry. When you say RRT, what does that mean? And specifically, what is the main function of the RRT? If you could.
Yeah, it is the rapid response team. Like in the team, you have lab technicians, you have public health officers. The driver is not an exception. He's also part of it. What we do is like we are always on alert where there is a problem or where they realize that there's a suspect. The rapid response team are the first people who will be there. But as time goes on, now it is the rapid response team, the public health officer being the lead investigator. We are always situated at strategic locations where samples are collected. Like we have 3 to 4 sample collection sites. We have Busubi at Tontewul, Senegal, at the stadium, Brikama. We also have the mobile team. So you being the public health officer, you are the lead investigator. You will have to come collect all the particulars of those traveling or those who wish to do the test in the Gambia. Yes. So the rapid response team, they play a crucial role. So initially, when we had a lot of cases, it was difficult. In fact, we were not staying at home. You will be sitting at home, but they will call you, come do this, go with the lab technician. You will have to go collect samples, come back. It's difficult. Sometimes you will have to leave all your clothes outside. But the fear factor at the end, it was no more there. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know, Senabu, if you are hearing us. Senabu is a nurse midwife. Senabu, perhaps you can also share your experience working in the health facilities at the peak of the COVID-19. Senabu, can you hear me? Senabu, Baracha. Okay, Sambo, I guess.
Hello, Asan.
Okay, Senabu.
Can you just repeat what you were? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And Senabu, the program it fake buganga like all of them it's fine because program all languages are okay. Second, all of them it is fine. So let's go on hamrek what were your experience the time COVID be mbas bi bum lawé la moy won sen choono yo len daj ak yo xamantene tamit ci liggéey bi comme manam lo xamantene pour dal sel xel dal because yena nga dem ci l'hôpital bi ragal ne dina am covid dina am mbas bi ci l'hôpital bi suma amé mbas bi suma njobbo bi naka la leen def am na ñoo xamante ne sax ñu ngi leen isolé ci hôtel si ak lodge si because ñu ngi liggéey ak ñoo xamante ne ñoo am feebar bi di mbas bi so comme psychosocial lifin yooyu noonu ak loo xamante ne lépp dajoon ngeen ko si liggéey COVID-19 bi pour ngeen share ko pour askan bi mun koo dégg.
ok Assane jërëjëf maa ngi nuyu ñi ma bokkal plateforme bi yëpp Assane comme noo ko xamee rek xam nga ne I was not actively at the clinical at that side waaye xam nga a lot of my other colleagues were actively involved and so we would know what they were going through comme noo ko waxee rek métti woon na ak gaay bu feebar bi jotee ñu bari xamuñ woon feebar bi naka la mel and all of that am na ñoo xam ne sax seen families dañ leen doon pressure pour ñu bàyyi because xam nga ne amutoon like a central comme transport system pour nurses and all of that ñeneen dañoo war a jigee seen kër yi war a dem ba lopitaan yaa ngi dugg ak génn si moto yi so te yaa ngi bàyyi ku màgget si kër bi so métti woon na si ñooñu torop am na ñoo xam ne they were forced to resign ba pare buñ infecté tamit some they were forced because xam nga workforce bi naka la mel like between the nurse patient ratio or healthcare patient ratio bi dafa tuuti torop Gambia so da nga gis ne benn nurse ba benn docteur ñu war a toppatoo dafa bari so da nga gis ne out of those people tam mu ngi tuuti léegi
say dafa mel ni connection am bi dafa dem Hassan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have Sankano here. Can we have Sankano say, Sankano, can you please come forward and say hi to the people? I think we will have Senabu join us back.
Yeah.
Hello, Sankano. Hello, Sankano. Sankano, we can hear you though. Hello.
Sankano Munge Wahde, why he is speaking, but it appears that his audio.
Hello, Asan.
Okay.
Okay, say he's back. Say go ahead. Sankano, Amanda, we have to work on your audio. You are speaking and you are not, but we can hear you.
Yeah, so we briefly lost you. So connection,
well, connection with the Hordogon. So so that was some of the challenges that some faced. But the other thing was they in quarantine on because the Agis neking and we infected on. So quarantine yangi sorry sa family be I'm not your hamne amon dom your hamne you nampal. So they were far from their families. But nobody support win so long. They were just at the isolation centers and when you want come get up or anything. So then I think like the nursing association, National Association of the Gambian Nurses and Midwives, ñu taxawoon nañ pour dimbale comme seen ñi bokk si ñoom comme nurses yi pour help leen with comme drugs like vitamin C ak yooyu noonu just to boost up their immune system ak yooyu noonu. So those were the challenges that were faced ba pare inadequate PPEs tamit da nga gis ne comme yi nga xam ne dañ ko war a jëfandikoo pour aar seen boppa especially at the peripheries because I feel when the COVID was around more emphasis was made on the here at the urban areas than the rural area. The society everybody was at risk everybody is at risk because yow mi nga xam ne yaa ngi protect sa boppa yow yaa ngi naa save daal ki nga xam ne mu ngi toog si outpatient bi gis nit feebar xamul kan mooy feebar. So those were the challenges that healthcare workers yooyu lañ face on Assane.
Okay. Yeah,
but yeah, the family Sankano ñëwaat na Sankano.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Ba, Mr. Njai, and co-panelists. Nice to hear from you again.
Good, nice. Mr. Sankano, today's program is dedicated just to be a thank you to our frontline workers, both in the Gambia and around the world. So you are working at the National Coordination Secretariat. What do you have? What word do you have for this, our gallant men and women who are on the front line, risking their lives to save the lives of Gambians and non-Gambians alike?
Well, just a word of gratitude because I mean, if you look at it, we've achieved our targets. Initially, the projections were, and if we don't do something, we are expecting about 181,000 plus, cases. And right now we are still below 4,000, which is basically a remarkable achievement. Looking at the challenges and the working environment, and the stigma, the hostile reaction from the public, and all the myriad of challenges we face. So therefore, I just salute all the frontline workers and also those behind the scene. It's a collective effort, definitely worthy of commendation. And I thank you also for this program. You've been very supportive because you are part of, let's say, the extended arm of the risk communication and community engagements. Without such platforms, we wouldn't have come that far. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sankano. We appreciate that. Asan, I think I can see Ibrahim Barrow. Barrow, can you please come forward too? I think you are in the health field too. What words do you have for our health workers and the audience generally?
Wow, good evening, everyone. I wasn't expecting to at least comment, but then I would like to thank my colleagues and you too for this platform, but then we have to thank them a lot. Also, for an oversight, I want to congratulate our captain of our team and the wife for their foundation and our victory, For their foundation, they are doing a very wonderful job,
Yeah, Ibrahim, you were in Farafenye at the Regional Health Directorate at the peak of the COVID-19. So I guess you also had your experience working at the regional level. What were the challenges, the opportunities that presented during the peak of the COVID-19 in Farafenye and the surrounding?
Well, I will first begin with the opportunities, or before I go on with the challenges. Like we had this committed, human resources or the health workers on the ground. That is one of the things that led to one of our greatest success in the history of our public health response in the Gambia, because most of us have never experienced outbreak response. People like me, and also those who were most of those people on the front line, because the last outbreak we had, like in 1992, of this meningitis in CRR and not URR. We were not in the field and we never know what a pandemic or outbreak is like, So this one just caught off us guard, with all the challenges on the ground, operation-wise and logistics-wise, We were committed on the ground to overcome the challenges. It was very, very difficult for me. I used to travel from Farafenye to the Central Public Health Lab to transport these samples on every 48 hours. And I used to have challenges within this coffee, I would stop and they break. The terminal ports in the secretary will say, no, you cannot cross, it is all of that. And they go and live in quarantine a long time, authority from some bosses, so we don't talk for big boy almost 1 hour balanga cross at late night. So babu no yang ware dele wati quarantine to be collect another sample. But then we had committed health workers si Farafenye General Hospital at these peripheral facilities in they put their 100 over 100, seriously. They were at risk, some of them were even volunteers. Some of them were volunteers, but they have experience in the field, so they were committed. They did everything possible to make sure we had this, COVID-19 under control. So we salute them all and thank them for their hard work. That's it.
Ibrahim.
Thank you, bro.
Ibrahim actually has been, apart from being a front worker, Ibrahim has been very active on Twitter. I've been following you, Ibrahim, and always putting out there very honestly informing. I've been learning from your tweets a lot.
All right, thanks.
This thing we do in different ways, There's not just one way of doing it. You can be doing your work, but also passing on education, information there that would be part of the conversation that will inform the decision makers. Maimuna, do we still have Maimuna with us? Maimuna, you are muted.
I'm here.
Yes, Maimuna, do you have a word for our healthcare workers or authorities generally? What do you have to share with us?
I do think that I want to speak in Fula, maybe, if that's okay. Because we have
that's very okay.
Okay, so Just as everybody spoke that the healthcare workers, I'll still go back to Mariama and her husband, that each person contributing a little bit would always come handy at any time in a pandemic or non-pandemic era. So in my own little thinking, when the pandemic hit, everybody was trying to contribute in this way or that way. And my association with my husband that we call it Youth with Mission. It's not yet very famous, but we started running it since about 2 years ago. So we were able to secure some donations, and we were biased. Our focus was in the rural areas. So we were able to send our donations of rice and sugars and all those cleaning items to the rural areas, more specifically in Badibu. And we didn't target healthcare workers or any specific group. All the villages that were around the vicinity and the area that we were able to help was targeted. So that was what we did. As far as saying a thank you to healthcare workers, that cannot be overemphasized, because just as Mariam's husband said, somebody in charge of making sure that you are okay. That doesn't mean that that individual don't need to be also in charge of being okay themselves. Because I can only help you if I am already healthy and ready and able to help. So even if I have all the know-how, if I am psychologically distracted or I am emotionally drained, I am of no good to nobody's health at this time, because I need that help. I'm trying to help, but I am not going to be able to help. I'm in the position I'm supposed to help, but I cannot help because I am not supposed to be able to do that if myself is needing too much of it at the time. So I think that the emotional support that Aminata initiated, a group that should go into looking at how we can better assist them was, a welcome move, even though so many of us didn't really contribute as we supposed to. And then other things like just when we are with our family members, just educating them on the issue that healthcare workers are not gods. They are just there to facilitate the healing. We are there to make sure that this healing take place in a process that everybody is appreciative of what's going on. That being said, in order to help us as healthcare workers, educate our families that when you are in a hospital or in a healthcare setting, be respectful of the environment. We know you are sick. We know you have your issues, but be respectful of the rules. Like I had so many issues that healthcare workers faced during this pandemic. When somebody passes for the COVID, the family members are up to a fight that they want their dead body, that this is what they want to do with it and they must do it. I think if we educate our families individually that when the rule applies to one, it applies to all, that when you are sick, you still have rules to follow, even though you might not do them as you're supposed to. The bare minimum is expected of you. The bare minimum is expected of the family. A grieving family, we understand, we are trained how to handle that. We are trained how to handle the sick because this is their vulnerable time. However, we are also trained that there are laws that we follow and we must follow them whenever we are practicing. So my word here is let's help by educating the families to be respectful of the environment, that they are not the only sick people around, but we have other people who might be sicker, who might need more attention, even though you might feel your situation is the priority at this time. That might not be the eye of the healthcare workers, because you really cannot prioritize for them. They do that for themselves. So knowing and respecting the rules of the institution will be helpful to the healthcare workers. And also knowing that we are also people, just how you need attention and help is the same way we are also operating. We need help, we need attention. We come back to our families all drained and tired, and they are expecting some things from us. We all have kids. Even if we don't have kids, we have family members who expect us to come home and chit chat with them. We cannot fulfill our livelihoods, and we are feeling like we are not up to who we're supposed to be because we are trying to help other people. So appreciating the little that we are giving will go a long way. And also acknowledging that regardless of how hard we work, God will always do his plans the way he wishes. So if eventualities come in the place of what's going on, we also have to accept that we do our quarter, but God take the final say. So I appreciate all.
Your audio is off. Hassan, can you hear her?
No, I cannot hear.
Maimuna,
oh, okay, she's back.
okay. Maimuna said, I must confess, she said she doesn't speak. She's not a public speaker, but if you were a public speaker, this would have been something else. That was profound, Maimuna. That was great. I like how you put it. He said, just because nurses or health workers give care doesn't mean they don't need care or help. We should always remember that. When you go to hospitals, you go to health facilities to get support, know that the people you are meeting there are not machines, they're humans like you. They face that challenge, trouble of seeing people sick, people sometimes unfortunately dying all the time. It hits them too. So let's always remember that. Let's not forget that. We have Huma. Ibrahim Huma, are you still around? Ibrahim Huma, at some point we wanted to call you on, but we lost you. Yeroso, do you have a word you want to share with our health workers?
Hey, thank you very much, Samba. Thank you for giving me the floor, man. I just have to thank each and every one of you for always. Do I have to put on my camera?
If you want to, yeah.
I was already in bed, man. But,
okay, it's all right.
But I have to. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have to say thank you to each and every one of you for always being there, for always giving the support to of course, to our people, the Gambia. And I know to the healthcare workers, it has not always with the little resources that are available. We all know, of course, the struggle that they have been going through. But then, nonetheless, they have been able to keep the situation really fine. So, of course, we definitely have to say a big thank you to them. And I'm also seeing our Captain Da. I can fully remember when they were launching their foundation in Paradise. I was there with them, and they're still going on with it, which is really, of course, good. I'm also saying, like, a big thank you to them for the hard work, for the support, of course, they're giving to the Gambian people in general, and to any other person that have been also supporting
thank you.
the Gambia in general.
It is good to see you here again.
Yeah, thank you very much. And to Samba, I have been following your program time to time. Of course, I've been following, and with the people that you have been working with, Hassan and others. Thank you very much. Of course, you guys did a very good job, and I just have to say, keep it up, and we will surely be there, inshallah. And it doesn't have to stop here. Of course, we have to keep going, keep moving, because we all know, how things are back home. But then, we just have to keep it together and then make sure we be where, of course, we want to see our country, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paul. That's true. We know it's tough. We have to keep fighting, keep doing the little we can. It's easy to complain, we don't have this, this is not here, that's not there. Let's choose what we have to get where we can get to. Hopefully somebody else will build on the progress we made together to get where we want to be. It doesn't all come at once, but we build it baby steps, slowly but surely. MJ, we have Mukhtar and we have Espion. I don't know who Espion is. I don't know if it's the phone that is Espion. We have Espion and Mukhtar. Can you please come forward? Mukhtar, and I'm not sure if the Espion is the name or is the phone that is the name they choose to have on here. Espion and Mukhtar, if we have you on there, we'll the floor is open for you. Okay, maybe they would come back later.
Yeah. So Samba, And as much as we thank the healthcare workers, we also need to thank Gambians for supporting the healthcare workers. You know, these COVID restrictions are really tough, huh? I experienced it personally because I was in Gambia during this period. And, you know, you could hear the frustration from people, you know. And, you know, in Gambia, we have a huge informal sector that contributes to the economy. You know, you have your gender adjayi, the women that usually wake up very early in the morning. No matter how early you wake up, you'll always see them with their pans, with their vegetables going to the sandicas. And then you have your weekly lumos where people do barter trading, you know. And then you have your hamadene, you know, then they tough, you know, wake up in the morning, see what they can take to the market and try to put food on the table. So asking people to reduce that activity, an activity that will bring income to your household, an activity that will put food on your table. And, you know, we are respecting those rules, you know, constraining yourself. I think we also need to thank the Gambian population. Even when the government introduced mandatory wearing of masks, you could see that at the beginning, especially the first 2 weeks, you know, Ibrahim perhaps could attest to that. Many people were largely, you know, were observing the rule, you know, but at some point in time, you know, complacency always comes in. And even in our religious or worshiping sites like the mosques and churches, people were asked to pray at home. You know, I remember the korite, you know, there was no korite in the Gambia. I mean, there was korite, but there was no like them, you know, Salikira, Gilekai, Gilifofunono. And Tobaski also, it was split. Some people went, others didn't. So this is also possible because Gambians, by and large, also adhere to the regulations that the government came up with. So we would also want to thank the Gambian people for their support and especially supporting healthcare workers.
Definitely. That's very much true. As we thank the healthcare workers, it's two-way. You know, we have to thank the Gambian people too for, you know, following the guidelines as much as they could, you know, and complementing the efforts of the healthcare workers. We have Ibrahim Abba connecting. Ibrahim.
Yes, hello, Samba.
Ibrahim, how are you doing?
I'm just doing well, sir. How about you?
We're good and doing well too. So you also have something to say to our health workers.
Yeah, I joined lane, of course, but I definitely have something to say, just to say bravo to them. I know for the first time in history, we have witnessed the most difficult moments of our time. And then this was a war that they were supposed to fight for themselves and for their people. So they did it with courage and they did it in the best possible way. So thank God today, you know, we have done, you know, far more than we were expecting that they could do. And then we must say thank you very much for them. And then, you know, job well done.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. You are right. You put it in a very interesting way. One of the biggest wars of our time. That's very true.
Yeah, and it is not fought by the soldiers. It was fought by you know, by the doctors and the nurses. You know, I know it wasn't easy on their own side. I know, honestly. So definitely congrats to them.
I know, Ibrahim Barrow. Should we start calling our health workers as war veterans too?
Perhaps they all deserve a medal, you know.
That's true. So they all deserve medals. Mariam Atndai, you are listening to the people. You hear the words. Now I would ask you a bit about a football-related question. You know, being a footballer and representing the national team at the time of COVID. You know, we've seen how tough it is. So nakala experience with the restrictions, traveling around with the national team, and how are you managing that?
Well, it's very difficult, you know. Yeah. So lo hamne ni yo lo min di ko def la ñu tek la ben place ne la togal because of Covid bi nii doo mën a dem training yaa ngi stay home training yi nga def yaa ngi am pour def ko yëpp indoors ci sa kër so sometimes daf dee frustrating trop you know so time boo xam ne la woon dafa difficult but at the end tamit sa health moo gën a important than any other thing li nga def so foo jaar rek foog nga am pour toppa loolu noonu nga gis ne ni yaa ngi stay healthy because of so healthy wute sa any kind of job bi nga war a def doo ko tal doo mën a def loolu noonu so foog naa ne dafa important na torop pour tamit ñu ñëpp ñu toppa you know guidelines yi ñu gaay jox pour ñu def ko bi nga xam ne ni doo si am benn problème ba recently anywhere fi nga dem léegi covid bi matches yi nga dee dem yëpp da nga am pour def test before nga dem soo demee everywhere si flight si yaa ngi put on some mask so dafa difficult trop ba pare ñun suñ job nga xam ne ni dañoo bëgg a play with fans doo am fan because of covid bi nii yëpp so nga gis naka la health important you know wérgu yaram naka la important so foog naa ne ni it was very very important pour ñu doon toppa loolu noonu yëpp pour mun a nekk stay healthy ak yooyu noonu pour mun a continuer def suñ job so man daal li ma see wax rek nañ gën a continuer parce que jógee gut fi so nañ gën a continuer di gën a toppa mesures yu ñoo jox because of Gambia right now ñu bare ngay wax ne ni covid bi amagut fa because of recently bu ma fa demoon nii I see people ñu ngi talk without any mask ma ne leen yéen xanaa fii covid bi nekko fi ñu ne ma fii jeex na ma ne leen jeexu de man maa ngi amee sama mask ba pare di you know di def li ma war a def ma ne leen well continuer leen daal di def moo gën ngeen ne jeex na daal
bëggoon naa nga yokk foofu tuuti because comme yow gis nga jamono Gambie gis nga nit ñi léegi start nañ di flout rules yi waaye yow wóor nga si dëkk yi yaa ngi gis covid bi lu mu def comme Europe bi other parts of Africa yaa ngi gis lum cause si ay si économie yi si carrière yi si sporting wall bi loo am pour wax Gambian ñu dee toog ne foog ne affaire bi daal jeex na man daal covid bi ñu ngi safe léegi
waaw xam nga dinaa ne Africa in large ñu bari gomuñ covid bi nii that's the most difficult thing ñu bari am na ñoo xam ne ñu bari gomuñ ko so nañ xam ne ni covid bi mu ngi fi lu am la buñ toog rek ne lii jógee na fi wala covid amut ak yooyu noonu nañ toppa lan la ñu docteur si wax ak nurse ñu def ko parce que mu ngi fi mu ngi rey ñu bari si àdduna bi fii nii but soo gisee ma ne la nii african bi in large ñu bari gomuñ ko because Gabon bii nii bu ma jógee nii rek you know am na si ñoo xam ne nii di nga gis gaay si mbedd bi ñu ngi amee mask waaye am na ñoo xam ne nii amuñ ko am na ñoo xam ne nii you know jot nga wax ak ñoom ñu ne la nii there is no covid so loolu mun naa ne ni Africa bi ñëpp ñoom ñoo ëpp doole bi ñu gëmuñ loolu noonu compared to fii nii Europe nga xam ne nii di nga gis ne ni everywhere mu ngi close you know shops yi nii foo xam ne nii you know jaay kay ay food stuffs la ak yooyu noonu moom nga dee gis ne moo dee gën a ibi but yeneen yi yëpp yaa ngi gis ne nii mu ngi tëj soo demee si airport yi da nga gis ne nii yooyu yëpp mu ngi toj yëpp a ngi tëj ñu ngi respect foo dem yaa ngi gis ñëpp a ngi sol mask da nga gis ne police yi sax dañoo roam around fu nekk soo solut mask ñu wax ne nga sol ko compared to Africa nga xam ne nii fu mu nekk nii di nga gis mun ngaa dem si biti tase 20 nit ñoo xam ne ni kenn solut mask you know so wante nañ xam ne ni lii still now mu ngi fi nañ gën a continuer xeex bi gën a jàppale docteurs yi ak nurse yi bañ gis ne ni tamit lii nii génn na fii nii you know
definitely
da pare sama dama bëgg a wax ne ñoom players yi seen bakkan yi fekkee wu ko de tes yu bari
man foofu laa bëggoon a ñëw sax loolu laa la bëggoon a laaj mais ne waa ji bakkanam bi xam naa ne tay yi moom lu xati nañ bakkan yëpp
foog naa ne ñun suñ bakkan ni fu mu nekk nii it's 1 meter bi gën a gudda, you know, it's so every 2-3 days, you know, da nga war a am pour def test, xam nga lu ma mean, so
I know.
it's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Saba players yi tamit ñu ngi daj coono de because COVID test bi man ñaari yoon laa ko def de waaye gis nga bant bi suñ ko dugalee sa bakkan bi foog rongoñ daf day ñëw balaa nga koy yëg sax rongoñ bi moom
yeah, definitely
yoonam so easy wu dara te ñoom xam nga dëkk bu nekk dafa am own regulation am so am na dëkk yoo xamante ne balaa ngaa duga seen dëkk foog nga def test you know yaa ngi am football association si you know ñoom it ñoo am seen regulation comme balaa maa ji nga am pour def test maybe after 72 hours yooyu noonu so easy wu pour players yi ñoom it ñu ngi daj coono bu bëri. So Samba, moving on, I also want to say that I'm a Gambia health system. We have different disciplines in the health sector. So Martin Ibrahim Abaro, public health officials are very important. They mostly see points of entry, like port be at the airport, actually land border. You know, then I'm also saying nurses, midwives, yoo xamante ne ñu ngi yëngu si lopitaan bi because xam nga with all this COVID going on people will obviously have their medical issues, right? te jigéen yi tamit foog ñu am doom yi so xale yi tamit foog ñu feebar so service yooyu noonu dafa war a continuer so ñoom it ñu ngi gërëm gaay soo ñëwee si bunti laa bi tamit laa bi ñoom seen liggéey moom macha allah because te su ñoo def yi ne mostly ñoom ñoo ko dee ron comme alaaji dafa war a bokk ci programme bi but right now alaaji mu ngi liggéey ci lab bi sample yoo xamante ni yooyu lañ collect fa naa dimba mu ne yooyu la nekk di ron so moo tax mënut a join programme bi so lab si tamit ñoom it ñu ngi jàpp si bu baax a baax te la ñëw si pharmacie si tamit pharmacie technicien pharmacie assistant ñoo dee di la affaire yi garab bi so obviously ñoo xamante ne COVID amul garab waaye am na garab yoo xamante ne dina mun a saafaral sa symptômes yi comme maybe soo amee flu soo amee yaram bu tànga you know ñoom it dañ lay jàpp si yooyu noonu so pharmacie si tamit they are also very critical so ñëwee si other staff yi tamit doctors yi they are very key so demee right now Gambia sax si treatment center bi Dr. Pa Jagne moo ko lead and the team so ñoom it ngay yëngu si bunta boobu so ñëwee si beneen côté bi you also have this nurse attendants some call them nursing assistants ñoom ñoo dee jàppale nurses si suñu liggéey yi so ñoom it ñu ngi si taxaw bu baax a baax then ñoo si cleaners yi some call them oddlings others call them janitors ñoom it seen taxawaay si liggéey bi nag baax na trop because feebar bi xam nga daf dee gaaw a waale feebar bi daf dee mën a nekk si fu nekk daal daf dee mën a nekk si bunta bi si maraaj bi si taabul yi si suuf sax si floor bi so odle si maanaam ñu dee setal palaas yi ñoom it seen liggéey am na solo trop so nga ñëw si administration you know lopitaan bu nekk dañ dee mën a am seen administration ñoo xamante ne ñoo dee ron day to day affairs of the facility ñoom it ñu ngi yëngu si pour make sure ne bagage yi am na ñoo xamante ne ñoo war a ñoo liggéey tamit bara amoon na time tamit dañ am pour wàññi some staff ñeena yi su ñëwee this week ñeneen ñi ñëw di other week so administration tamit am nañ solo trop and of course so égee si ko that's the Ministry of Health ñoo xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk di coordinate so waxee Ministry of Health you are talking about 3 levels the level bu gën a kowe mooy central level mooy si ministry bi commencé ko si ministre bi di permanent secretaries the directors the deputy permanent secretaries the program managers ñoo nekk si central level bi ñoo dee nekk di coordinate liggéey bi then beneen structure bu si topp mooy regional structure si mooy ñoom Ibrahima Barrow fu ñu nekkoon so region bu nekk Gambia health system bi 7 regions lañ am 7 health regions so region bu nekk am na heads and also the other staff ñoo xamante ne ñoo nekk di jàppale facility si so maanaam lopitaan yu ndaw yi si regional structures yooyu lañ dee report so region si ñoo dee supervise seen liggéey bi then the last level bi mooy community bi mooy si dëkk yi ak lopitaan yi yëpp ak dëkk yi yëpp si community level bi lañ nekk so ñoom it dañ dee mën a jàpp si liggéey bi te ñoom they are the key ones because ñoom ñoo nekk di frontline health workers yi ñeneen ñi ñu ngi yëngu si coordination bi ñeneen ñi ñu ngi yëngu si affaire supervision bi waaye ñu si gën a am solo mooy ñoo xamante ne ñoo nekk di provide service bi si boppam mooy di frontline health workers yi soo demee si community bi tamit yaa ngi am ñoo xamante ne ñu ngi leen a ooyee community health workers mostly CHNs yoo xamante ne ñoo dee mën a jàkkuwanteel dëkk yu ndaw yi ak ñoo xamante ne ñoo nekk si dëkk yi so community health nurses yi tamit especially ñu nekk si village health service bi ñoom it seen taxawaay rafet na den soo ñëwee si dëkk yu ndaw yi si boppam dëkk bu ndaw bu nekk daf dee mën a am docteur yi dëkk bi mooy di village health worker ak forkat bi maanaam mooy TBA mooy traditional birth attendant waaye léegi seen liggéey bi dañ ko change daal beneen taxawaay lañ jël mooy community birth companions maanaam time boobu noonu jigéen yooyu ñoo dee for doom yi comme jigéen bu mat buggee am doom ñoom ñoo dee mën a jàppale jigéen bi pour mu am doom waaye xam nga léegi Ministry of Health seen policy bi mooy jigéen bu nekk dafa war a dem am doom si lopitaan yi so ñoom TBA yi seen rôle bi maanaam mooy pour buggee jigéen yooyu noonu pour ñu dem si lopitaan yi pour am doom fekkee ne soxla lañ anything si deret si operation or anything loo xamante ne dina nañ mën a jàppale pour ñu am seen doom yi si jàmm ñoom ñoo leen di jàppale so that is all these structures ñoo xamante ne ñoo nekk si various levels yi ñëpp ñu ngi yëngu si feebar si feebar mbas bi nii so di leen wax ne rek jërëjëf gàcce ngaalama seen liggéey rafet na
jërëjëf Assane comme thank you very much like what Assane said here Gor you really have a good understanding of our health system by the way that was a very good rundown of the structure from the top to the basic grassroots and when we say health workers healthcare workers Gambia the average Gambian can easily just think of the doctor and the nurse. And by the way, in his or her mind, it might be a male doctor and a female nurse. Some of those we need to work on a lot. Health worker, it's health work. The health field is very wide. Even if you come to the hospital, it depends on the people. Even the janitor cleaning, plays a very important role in the process in the health system. So we should include all of them in what we are saying, and down when you go to the community level, down to the traditional part. I think that, like you said, now they are called companion. So all these people play a very important role, and our thanks and gratitude goes to all of them. We have Lamin Sanyang here, who was a public health worker, I believe. Lamin Sanyang, you welcome, brother.
Moriba, you welcome, Moriba.
Thank you so much. He's a runaway.
Thank you. I first want to, join those on the panel to thank everybody, especially those in the Gambia. But I first have to thank, let me start with Pa Modou Jagne, what we yell, you make us proud, we will appreciate everything that you guys are doing. My big brother Hassan, Ibrahima, another big boss. Just to call it, I think, health workers in Gambia, Jambar line, that's the only thing we can say about them. I have a background in public health, but I also have a background in nursing. Now I'm a nurse. I'm running away from public health. I'm a registered nurse. Yes. And I work in a nursing home. The last time I worked, I have a COVID patient on my unit. We have a COVID, she's not going to work with a COVID patient. And these are people they have all the gadgets, they have all the PPEs that they need, but still they don't want to work with COVID patients because they know the risk, they know what COVID can do. When you make a Gambia in the front line, they don't even have basic, PPEs. So, with knowing what COVID is doing to the world, the courage to face with very limited or no PPE, all we can say to them is like, thank you. We need to appreciate, we need to celebrate them. I mean, Gambian for the most part, we are not good at that. I mean, we like to, I mean, you know, blame people, but when they do good stuff, we don't want to acknowledge it. I mean, that syndrome has to go away. I mean, America with all its resources is struggling, right? We all know the doctors are getting disease. I mean, nurses, people are running away from in fact, I'm even running away right now. I mean, I even stopped working as a nurse because I'm like scared. They have all the equipment that I have, all the PPEs. I mean, so in Unica Gambia with limited or no PPE, and they still, I mean, standing to make sure that, I mean, the people are taken care of. I mean, whatever anybody can see to them or whatever anybody can do for them should be, I mean, should be welcome. It's sad to say, I mean, but our people are not giving the support that they need. I mean, all of us had, you know, experience work in the Gambia. We know how it is. I mean, you need simple stuff. I mean, simple as, you know, let's say, you know, normal sailing, you can't even get it, right? So people risk all that, you know, they risk going back to their families, but they're like, you know what, this is our country, we're gonna stay, we're gonna make sure, I mean, everybody is treated, at least what we can do, give them the support that they could. So I think that is something that need to be, I mean, appreciated. And just like what Asan was saying, I mean, if you talk about healthcare for the average Gambian, is a nurse and a doctor, but the system is far bigger than that. You know, from the cleaner, I mean, the janitor, or I mean, the orderly that you call it, to the last part, everybody's playing their part. I think we need to acknowledge them, send efforts. I mean, you know, we have to celebrate them. You know, feel them, make them feel like they are valued, because they actually, these are essential workers. They are valued. Without them, imagine how it is. If you understand the health system, you know what I'm talking about. You know, there is absolutely nothing. So for somebody to be, I mean, you know, to be there, I mean, doing all what they are doing, man, I can only say, I mean, I can't thank them enough. I mean, I'm worried for my friends that still work in the health system. I have a lot of doctors that are friends, we are classmates, a lot of public health officers who are in the front line. Anytime I talk to them, I feel bad for them. You know, I feel bad for them. I mean, they are like, you know what, this is our country. We're gonna do what we can, even with limited or no resources. So, I mean, I don't want to say much, but just to say thank you to everybody who is doing whatever they can. I mean, and also the public has to understand. I mean, the issue of denial has to go away. Just like a couple of hours ago, I was watching news that this doctor in I think it's Michigan. He's like 28 years old. He's an ER doctor. He was saying he doesn't think he's gonna get COVID. Now he's struggling for his life. He's struggling. He's just 28. He has no underlying health condition. So those that have the belief in COVID, I mean, we're just appealing to them. This is a serious, I mean, it's a serious disease. It's killing people. I mean, and nobody's immune. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are, whether you are a baby, even though we have some people thinking that babies don't get crazy, but we know young people are getting it. We know babies are, we know children are getting it. So nobody's immune. So if WHO or Minister of Health lay down their, I mean, guidelines, we should all try at least respect those guidelines. Do whatever we can to make sure we follow them. Because protecting yourself is like protecting your family. And going out without a mask is simple, right? It's a very simple thing, but you don't know the impact that will have. You could save so many lives by just putting on a mask. It's that simple. So I just want to call on the public. I mean, let them listen to the health experts. If you look at the difference between countries that are doing well and countries that are doing well, is the kind of expert they listen to. Those that listen to health experts are doing very well compared to those that are not. I'm sorry, our country, we are not, because we don't listen to the experts. United States, I mean, America. So listen to health experts, listen to what they are telling you, follow the guidelines. I mean, nobody want to sit at home doing nothing. But if that's what is going to save you, if they ask you to sit at home, please sit at home. If they ask you to put on a mask when you're in public, please put on a mask. Before COVID, nobody's asked nobody to put on a mask. Is anybody asking anybody? So, I mean, just like what they say, if you see cats and dogs running into the same road, it's because of rain. Without COVID, we are not going to ask anybody to do what they're asking you to do. So please, listen to what they are telling you. I mean, protect yourself, protect your family, protect everybody. Because we don't have the resources. If we have a serious outbreak in the government, what are we going to do? We don't have anything. How many respirators do we have in the country? Less than 10, right? So it's serious. So I mean, I want to appeal to everybody to listen to the health experts, and I just want to thank the health experts for everything they are doing for the people of our country. Thank you, guys. Sorry for the
Actually, that's good. You know what? That's one
Thank
thing.
you very much. Say
Have,
hi to the other one there.
yes. when you have the kids coming to take part in the process, I enjoy it a lot. Yeah, good. Thank you very much, Chanyang. That's very true. The countries that are doing well are the ones listening to the experts. You know, if you have your car has a problem, you don't go to the carpenter to fix it. You go to the fitter, right? So that's it. If we have a health issue now, let's listen to the people who know about health. Let's get their advice and help ourselves, help our communities, and the Gambia. Asan, it's like we've gone 25 minutes past the hour. We should be rounding up now. Huh? You know what?
I think the discussion is interesting. I'm also receiving messages on WhatsApp that people are following. But yeah, I think we should start wrapping up. We can spend the whole day here, and we can't thank the health workers enough.
Definitely.
The work that they do, I don't they thank you, but it's just to show our appreciation for the selfless services that they are giving to Gambian population, Gambians and non-Gambians alike.
So we
can allow our guests to wrap up.
Yes. Other guests that we have here that we've been unable to get on board, I think we got almost everybody. Mukhtar, maybe we just people give the people the opportunity to say their final word. Sankano, do we still have you? Can you just say final words from you and from the secretariat? Do we still have Sankano?
Yeah, I'm on the line.
Okay. What final words do you have for us here and the health workers?
Well, first of all, to thank everybody. Like I said, it was tough from the beginning. From our side at the secretariat and also in charge of communication, the challenge was, building trust in public information, because people were relying initially on social media, on the rumors, and also the street experts. So trying to change that dynamic and make sure that people follow the official line of communication, the official data, was an important achievement for us from the beginning. Because we decided to make sure that we stick on the fact. People can consume the rumors, whatever they want to consume on social media, but before they make informed decisions, they have to listen to the authorities. And this is one of the biggest achievements of our communication. The denial, the lack of recognition on the public side, I think it also has to do with the cultural shock, because all the social distancing and all these regulations, they are cultural shocks. Like when you tell people not to go to mosque, some people spend all their life going to the mosque. They never had it. So the resistance is understandable. And I would like to thank everybody that, we've gone far. Let's just hope and pray that a second wave doesn't come. And if it comes, we have the experience, we have learning curve, we are prepared for it. And I want to thank everybody. Don't give up, and salute to everyone and salute to you all.
Thank you very much, Sankano. We hope you people continue, because yes, like you said, you've been working hard on putting the information out there, but like you said, the street experts are also doing their work, and we've seen a relax on the following of the rules from the average Gambian. We hope you continue engaging them more, because we cannot afford to be complacent, because COVID is not being complacent at all with us. So Maimuna, you have any final words you want to say? Maimuna, you are muted. Okay, Maimuna, you are muted. Yes.
I say I'm sending a big gratitude to all the people on the ground and everybody that is doing what they can in their own little way to help out and make sure we are getting out of this situation.
Okay. Thank you very much. Baro, Ibrahim.
Yes, just to say thank you to all the Gambian health workers, as well as like philanthropists or NGO wala foundation or individual Gambians nga xamne dugal nañ sen lawa ci corona bi ni, like foundation bi melni ñom Ndey Mariam ak Ndasen foundation bi ba fa baax ngay liggéey nga xamne amna somebody got your back, ya mëna sax have support somewhere mentally, so lolu tax na li nga xamne ñu bari jàpp nañ liggéey bi ak ñaar fi biir fii bi te amuñ li nga xam ne ni luñ soxla yëpp war nañ ko am luñ waroon am nañ ko, waaye den yaakaar bu ñu am suñu gannaaw tax na we have done everything possible to contain this dafa ndro suñu victory bi ak Gabon rek 2-1 bi comme na ko tuddee
loolu la jërëjëf Ibrahim Yero or Ibrahim Ba, any one of you?
Samba, thank you very much. Naka wax bi yëpp gars yi wax nañ ko rek fii mboolem lu ci wax rek dañ see delluwaat rek waaw di wax gars yi jërë ngeen jëf rek comme jërë ngeen jëf seen taxawaay ñoom Baro ñoom Njaay ak gars yi yëpp you know yéen ñëpp kontaan nañ bu baax daal so di wax ne like you know affaire yi ñoo ko bokk daal waaye rab jeexut de so comme xam nga rek noonu leen ko waxee rek nit yi yëpp ñu bari ñu ngi foog ne like you know COVID dem na and all that jeex na non COVID ba léegi mu ngi fii like you know and you know the predictions are second wave bang si ko mu ngi ñëw mu ngi overgrow at this end of you know at this part of the world xam nga mu ngi overgrow area bi ni sax so ñu ñaan yàlla rek xam nga yàlla save ñu si ba pare ñu continue the good work for now loolu rek la ñu war a def yeah and to say a big thank you to our big captain you know we are always behind you people and we're really happy to see that of course Gambia is on the right track this time around. Yeah, Samba and others, thank you very much. Didn't work again, Jeff, all the time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. In case you miss seeing Yero, Yero is back to school. He's a student. As you can see, graduate school is very hard on him. Huh? You see the hair, and he's losing weight.
Yeah,
that's what school does to people, Ibrahim, are you still with us? And do you have final words? Ibrahim Abba?
Yes, thank you, Samba. I am still with you guys. And then, just finally, I will say thank you to the health workers once again. And then to you people as well, because I can remember during the quarantine, I think it was, or during the Ramadan, sometimes I will just chip in, get one or two information that were very much vital. That at some point I will even share with people back at home here, so that how good it was, not only fast for those who will participate, who were just following it online here, but they normally share it with other people. So maybe to some extent also, that how much good everything was, in the sense that, we all participated in one way or the other, and to make sure that we fought this thing. And then that also was with us. I will capitalize the congratulations for winning against Gabon. And then away from that, they also played their role, because there was a time they joined the advocacy to call on Gambians, to make sure that we follow the precautionary measures, because there's a battle that wasn't an easy one at all. So we needed the cooperation of each and everyone. And then to some extent also, they really played their role as public figures. And then I think at the end of the day, all of those efforts yielded us good. So we would like to say thank you to them as well, and then to you people as well here. And special thanks to the health workers. And yeah, bye from me. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
man. We appreciate it.
Great. Thanks. Lami Sanyang, you have final words you want to say? And if that girl has something to say, you have to.
I know, right? Yeah, became, you get them health workers. If you look at COVID, is beyond health work, right? Defa under globally, we have the mental health issues of the COVID, we have the financial issues, we have like a lot of other social issues. There are so many other people outside of health workers that are also supported in those areas. So, just anybody who is part of the fight, because the fight is just beyond the health aspect. It's like it has so many components, and then so many other people are also playing a part, in those other. They are the unseen heroes. We don't see them, but they are doing a lot. So we thank everybody. It's all part of the thing. The other message will be, please, COVID is a serious, disease. So everybody should listen to the health experts. Listen to what he made mention of Sangano made mention of street experts. Please. Facebook, social media, we know they are important, right? But please don't take everything that you hear from the social media. Listen to the experts. We know we have WHO and all those in terms of they have Facebook, they have social media pages. You can go to those people and then, places, website, and then pick information that's going to be beneficial to you and then the country. But, don't just listen to Lamin Sanya who's going to go on Facebook Live talking about stuff that he doesn't have an idea about, making you confused. Please. Sometimes I see some religious messages and I feel we all religious people, but one day will tell you, hey, if you read this particular ayah, it's gonna protect you. Please, let's not fall, into those kind of stuff. I'm not saying, people should not believe in what they believe in, but when it comes to COVID, With the guidelines they are giving you is what is protecting you, nothing else. I mean, keep the social distance. I mean, put on the mask when they go into public. Try to, cover whatever you can do, whatever guidelines that have been given by WHO or Minister of Health. Please take those ones. Forget about us on social media talking about all kind of crazy stuff. All right. Once again, thank you everybody who is playing a part in this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawisha. You are right. COVID is not only a clinical issue, it has a lot of sides and aspects, and different people play a role in it, And on the street experts, the syringe and different health, emergency doctors, I will say I'm not buteli like that I'm drinking from, because they are all kind of, I'm also buteli gasolsi like kalem ngay nan dara dula jot. You've had a different kind of advice. Maimuna, you said you have something for Captain before you leave. You are muted.
Sunday, Mariam and Captain, my Wolof is, I don't have any Wolof. So, but I want you to remind Captain whenever he's going for a match, the Lamba guy. Always tell him, Maimuna said, you when you go, always the Lamba guy, okay? So that's my Wolof that I remember today, but always remind him. And we are proud of you guys all the way. Yeah. Said the Lamba guy.
We will do that, inshallah.
Well, that is that's Lamba play Musaf. That's one thing that we know Pa Modou Jagne for. Pa Modou, I was in the 2008 match in Dakar. I can remember you on the halfback. Fighting Elas Diouf and Isaiah Jack. Whenever I hear Pa Modou Jagne, I remember that view. Isaiah Jack at that time was very fast. But you were there very strong. He was very good. Isaiah was very good, but that day you people played a very good game. I was in that, I was at the stadium. Yeah. That was a very good game. But anyway, that brings us to the end of the day. So we want to return to you, Pa Modou and Mariam. What final words do you have for us before we close?
Well, Samba, man suma final words rek moy ni Ibrahima Barrow mentioned na ni this was also a learning experience for John. But then man luma wax public bi luma wax Gambians si moy ni niñ jël li as a lesson xamne nit ki amulo dara lu dul fo dika. Gis nga bi COVID bi démé ba metti. Amone ne dama dem fly out pour dem Dakar pour dem faju ji. Amone ne I'm going to the States pour dem faju ji. ñepp fofu lañ def so lolu na nekkan exemple bo xamne nañ ko use pour delo njukal ñi nga xamne ñoo nekk ci health system bi ñi nga xamne they are working in conditions yoo xamne it's very harsh conditions yoo xamne you're working you don't have everything you need yet still they are giving everything loo xamne loolu lañ am diko jox patients yi tay biñ febaré ci hospitals yi fofu lañ nekk di dem kon do lu ñu mëna delo njukal healthcare workers yi moy comme nako fi ñepp waxé covid bi mu ngi demagut. Parce que betay, we are still having its few. We've controlled it, alhamdulillah, and that says a lot about healthcare workers. If I need to control lolo, actam degala ni ñi nga xamne top nañ lolo, waye nañ xamne gënut ñu gëna tamit dimbali healthcare workers yi di tok ci kër yi di def measures yi nga xamne loolu lañ leen wax. Gëna gi du mëna ñaaka waye simple measures yoo xamne war nañ ko jël di jël mask di def social distance tam nañ ko jox ñi ni xamne healthcare workers yi tam dañ am families. Risque bi su amé gis nga su covid bi démé bé ñaanu ñaala su second wave joté ñun fi nekk lo lañ nekk di fiis ñeppay daw dem dugga seen biir kër yi healthcare workers ñoo fa nekk ñom tam dañ am families they have to protect their families so nañ leen dimbale make things easier by abiding by the rules xam nga di def di lifin naka di def liñ wara def pour make sure ne dal li dina fi génna dal gina yépp ba pare tam di delo njukal not healthcare workers ak essential workers yépp tamit waaye tam di fatale ko gaay Red Cross yi nga xamne tamit ñi nga xamne gañu nañ tamit jox nañ leen that dignity bi nga xamé ni kenn mënu fa taxaw xam nga pour defal leen rights yooyu noonu tamit dem nañ ko defal leen ko in a dignified manner tamit ñu tam duñ leen ci faté ñoo ko képp ko xamne parce que comme ni ko fi ñepp waxé rek doctors nurses they did a lot but then come essential workers it goes past that am na ñu bari ñoo xamne ku nekk jappa nga ci so di leen gërem di leen santa di leen wax ne gis nañ conditions yu gaay doon liggéey in gis nañ all the risks that they took for the public gis nañ ne it has been difficult. We've seen stories about people seen nit ñi suñ gaañoo ni ñoo defee ko am nga so loolu yëpp gis nañ ko naka la leen nit ñi doon treaty xam nga because sometimes tamit I guess ne they were so much people are so much into their grief into what they are feeling pour fàtte ne ñi la tam ay doomi aadama lañ ñoom tam dañ am ay mbokka te xam naa ne even healthcare workers si sax du ñaaka tam am nañ si ay mbokka yoo xam ne colleagues yoo xam ne lose nañ leen si so I think this is a lesson pour Gambians si tam ñu gën a appreciate these healthcare workers tamit ba pare tamit gën a tam def lu ñëw mun ñun ñëpp as stakeholders tam gën a ñaax government bi pour mu gën a lifin naka do a lot of investment into this healthcare system tamit parce que foofu rek lañ am biñ fa foofu lañ dëkk foofu lañ am top to bottom si covid bi ku feebar yëpp si lopitaan yooyu nga naa dem di jaajëfal tam ñi fi nekk yëpp ak yéen tamit Hassan ak Samba mi ñu invite si plateforme bi tamit I learned a lot ma ne ko jàngee naa fi lu bari so it was very interesting jërë ngeen jëf.
Thank you very much Ndeye Mariam ndax
well man lu ma see yokk rek moom bariwul mooy di gërëm ñëpp ñi nga xam ne ni contribute nañ si time covid bi nii te ba léegi sax ne buñ ne time covid because still covid bi mu ngi on so di leen wax ne ni jërë ngeen jëf après ñi leen wax ne daal nañ gën a continuer jeexagul daal woot si daal bariwul daal waaye daal di leen wax ne ni jërë ngeen jëf daal si everything xeex buñ nekk di def nii nañ gën a continuer xeex bi parce que jeexagut so maa ngi leen di wax leen daal
gàcce ngaalaama
jàppa ñëpp
ma dafa jaaraama
ak yéen ñu nekk fi ñëpp si plateforme bi daal maa ngi leen naa wax ne thank you very much gis nañ seen support and everything yes
ndax xam nga doo ñëw fii ba dem laajuñ la question of football loolu especially for football lovers like us pour suppress ko waaye duñ ko mun
waaw
bàyyi ko rek mu jaala
bàyyi ñu difin ko rek because ay gis ñoom Ibrahima yëpp yeroo ñoom Lamin Sagne Assane they are all like big football fans Ibrahima ma ne at the end of the Gambia Gabon game fine game good results you had an interview with the TV you said stuff there after that loo fa wax first of all man kii ex-match laa gis mu tweet ko mu ne ndaas interview after madam I started looking for it then I started receiving different WhatsApp groups you know the video some people recorded it and they are sharing in a WhatsApp group you shared a lot about what Gambians should do if you can in summary say now you need to say two games yow ban message nga amal Gambians yi si suñu
ba ki dama meroon keroog de yaa ngi ko bëgg a raakati de
non waaye lu mu fa wax lu am solo la so dama bëggoon lu loo am pour wax Gambian yi lu war a nekk suñu taxawaay si lu des si ñaari game yi ak si Gambian football generally
waaw lu des rek si ñaari game si yëpp mooy ñëw pour ne xam ne lii nekkul ne ni dangaa ñëw pour support individual lii pour nation bi la nga ñëw pour support so ñëwal nga jàppale team bi ak noo ko mën a defee nga support team bi ba nga gis ne ni dëkk bi ñun ñëpp luñ si lan lañ bëgg ak lu ñoo ñaan mooy pour Gambie ñu qualify
definitely
so ne la ñu rally si behind team bi support team bi ak result bi nu mun a demee ñun luñ bëgg mooy
te win la moo nekk
waaw win la moo nekk but football la you never know wante ñun football la si luñ dee bëgg mooy ñu am support te support bi soo ko amee daf la dee motiver nga def loo xam ne nii sax yow foog nga ne yow lii mënuloo ko sax because of the support bi nga am di loo bi nga nekk di am so loolu noonu soo ko nekkee di ko am rek daf la dee gën a motiver te ñun loolu lañ soxla because of ñun xam nañ games yi nii fu mu nekk nii ñaari games yi moo gën a important si ñun suñ football career luñ mus a am luñ mus a play yëpp these two games because of suñ winee games yi nii it's a history boo xam ne nii du mus a far si ñun suñ boppa suñ doom yi suñ sëti suñ sësaate ku nekk dinañ la wax ne la nii sa papa o sa lii sa nijaay ñoom ñoo fi qualify loo Gambia for the first time musuta am so history boobu ñun suñ boppa ñun ñoo gën a bugga loolu noonu daan even fans yi nga xam ne nii ñu ngi nekk di support team ñun laajte wuñ leen dara ñoo leen ñu support 90 minutes su jeexee ku nekk lu nga bugg a wax mun nga koo wax mun ngaa criticize any player boo mun a def but suñ duggee si biir fii bi 90 minutes nañ support boys si ba 90 minutes bi jeex buñ ñëw stadium bi dafa war a nekk health fire pour yeneen team si yeneen dëkk yi suñ ñëwee foofu noonu dafa war a nekk loo xam ne nii ñoom seen boppa duñ musa fàtte loolu noonu warut a nekk round another round xam nga lu ma ñuy support beneen team because of xëy na yow yaa ngi support Real Madrid ou Manchester sa player mu ngi ñëw foofu noonu ñu ci dëkk boobu ngay ko support non ak ñoom lii is a nation nekkut club so nañ support boys yi lu ma dee wax nañ support boys yi 90 minutes su jeexee soo bëggee criticize koo bëgg a criticize nga criticize kooku noonu because of ñun tamit criticize boobu noonu daf ñoo dimbale ji because from loolu noonu la ñoo jàngee pour mun a make sure ni suñ game bi ñu ko mu ngi dem si kaw so nañ make sure ne daal ñu support boys yi gën ñoo yokkal ñaani because of su soobee yàlla da at bi suñu at la so su soobee yàlla moom dinañ qualify xaw ma kañ la ñoo play African Cup bi dinañ ko poussaat ba 2023 wante ñun dinañ qualify at bi ñëw ni African qualify bi inshallah
Mariama mu ne win la moo nekk te man dama gom de Mariama mu ne win la moo nekk
ñun jabari ak doom neexuñu de
so I think Samba I mean I listened to the whole interview te xam naa Palim si wàll du am solo la because I mean he made reference to the incident at the airport. I mean I was saying to myself, if I were the health officer at the airport, maybe the game wouldn't have been played because I'm not going to allow anybody get into the country without being tested. I mean, Gambians, we've seen the video. This is how they were treated. They respect their laws and they get tested and then nobody even say anything. Who are these people to come to the country? People are even criticizing Gambia for that. I think Gambians, we need to change our attitude. I mean, nobody want to make life hell for anybody when it comes to the but at least I mean when there are laws, we have to respect the laws. Because as he said, you support Arsenal and the Arsenal's captain is there. Whatever he says, that should not be entertained. I mean, you made some very important remarks, and then I think all of us as Gambians or as sports fans should learn from what you've said. I mean, it's very right. I was very upset that they even let them to go to their hotel without even getting tested in the first place. Gambians went to Gabon. They comply by every law. Who are they to come to the country and say they're not going to get tested? Yeah, they
definitely.
It was like,
yeah.
Why legi da mer jeex na daal
if they sleep in the hotel, they lose the game. That is like 2 injuries. That's right there. They can go home. Don't be upset. It's okay.
But I think there's something Tamlu Gambians want to understand from the Kondawa here. I mean, we've been there as their wives, as their families. We know the sacrifice big idea. Sometimes, you see people in the Facebook in everything. When you're in football, you have the criticism. That is fine. But sometimes it's like Gambians, I think they do it in a very personal, they call it personalized too much. It's like personal. But sometimes they do not even know sacrifice big idea. We're here, we know sometimes these the players sacrifice the guy they give. But I also think sports journalists, I think it's very important when you're a sports journalist to do your findings, do your investigations, to know before you just put something out there. Because even certain things they would put it out there, and then it's not even, they may would know. And the people inside would know this is not how it goes. But then it gives the public an impression it's not even healthy. It's not even healthy, and I guess it affects because public vitamin fans the fans win so it's understandable. So then they would get upset. That's just normal. But then when you're doing it, also know these people have families. There's this player they don't play, and then you get toxic boy, among for them setani, and they were just insulting this and Jeruko. These people, they also have family. They have their own feelings like So lu ñoo def rek nañ ko defee in the right way rek ak yooyu noonu daal parce que win bi ñëpp a ko bëgga ma ne ko win bi ñëpp a ko bëgg te dinañ win.
I think that Mariama, to add on to that problem that Gambia have and we need to fix is attitude. Everybody thinks that they have the right to say whatever they want to say. So you have all these social media warriors who have their guns from nowhere, sitting there writing all kind of things, no edit, no filter, no truth, no nothing, no facts. Dibinda lulene, kare diwa lulene, ko wahni nyune is my right. Yo, I'm the right one. I'm also responsibility. Class. Attitude did not change. Don't like need Gambia.
It ain't change this year.
Sama yang go turn into a football show.
I know, right? My book on here. Am I lost?
We're gonna go with that.
Okay, well, I guess a Facebook.
We have the captain online. So what are you without talking about football? So
Sila boka.
Bala may dem fokk ma laal ci Ndey Mariam lu mu wax football ay am nañ ay family you know te whatever ñu ñoo def ñu def ko you know yaguma around but I've watched different generation of national teams. I'm not player yoo xam ne serve nañ this country like what but the they left the national team has been on very sad. We know like if I'll just si magi lay dem rek so ko xolé ñom sif ñu bayé team bi nga xol ñom padé mo ñu bayé team bi it's very sad so xamé sacrifice ñu def because towards some point like everybody just turn on them and you know they had to leave unceremoniously after serving for years. So fancy Gambian fan bi am nañ problem yu bari problem bu ndaw amé rek then they fight whatever that has happened. Man, I was watching, you know, some game, you know, if you watch the Gambia South Africa game, we play on in South Africa, you see the kind of saves that Toldo did. Then the next game, Gambia, I don't know, we are playing Angola. He was scored out of the box. Then I had people saying, "Then go what game him." One game he is the best player in the world. The next game, then go what again team. The Gambian fan, we have the shot.
Samba dogo malade. Why Gambia so dan dem stade ni ñoo xamantene musu ñoo laal ball.
Wow.
ñoo de nek football.
Exactly.
ñoo nonu dem nañ coaching school am sen professional license. ñoo de mëna wax ki dafa wara tok ki. So comme no len ko waxe ni rek players yi mom lu ñoo def because ñun xam nañ Gambia government so GFF is not paying these players what they deserve. Ñun xam nañ lan mo de xew ci yeneen dëkk yi professional ci suñ démé fu ñoo dal xam nga everything is first class service ay ñi sacrifice ñoo defal réew bi dañ ko war a appreciate ay tamit pour ñoom daa tamit ñu understand ne life ci boppam noonu la mel you know foo loo munti def soo defee nii ñu am lu ñoo wax soo defee nii la the same thing so ñoom nañ focus rek because next 2 games yi dafa important trop te ñoom it dañu war a focus te xam nga affaire baa ngi métti xam nga ñu ngi nekk under a lot of pressure man nag maa ngi am yaakaar man I don't know maa ngi am feeling boo xamante ne man daal ren moom Cameroon moom nañ defend rek nañ waajal pass yi rek Samba.
Exactly ñu ngi waaj
waaw
no dinañ qualify
ñaaxal rek ngeen muñ rek ngeen am patience rek ngeen understand ne loo leen nekk di def ni Gambia ngeen nekk di represent te am nañ yaakaar ne this year inshallah lépp dina baax pour wax leen rek jërëjëf
Samba yaa ngi
muñ rek
Samba yaa ngi doon wax affaire incident yi comme toldo bi fans yi ñoo mel noonu because of ñoom luñ dee gis rek mooy kii yàgg na si national team bi dafa war a génn Gambia ñoom suñ la yàggee gis nga play si national team bi na benn 5 years or 3 years ñu ne kii mag na kii dafa war a jeexal ak yooyu noonu war naa bàyyi jox xale yi chance waaye xam nga loolu waxi fans rek la dee nekk wante yow soo nekkee si biir yow as a player yow nga nekk si technical staff bi yow di nga xam njëriñi kii nii naka lam important ni si team bi because of léegi soo waxee rek ne nii because am na yenn time yoo xam ne nii fii public bi ñëpp a ngi doon demand ne nii nañ jël xale yi rek ñu play xale yi dem ñu play 102 ñu ne nañ oo yena mag yena mag ñëw ñu ne ni non nañ génnee ñii nii ñu indiwaat xale yi so doo dee mën a understand ñoom ku nekk da ngaa seet yow loo xam ne xëy na yow yaa ngi am koo xam ne nii sa friend la oo koo xam ne yaa ngi ko xam mu ngi play ak kii benn position so yow kooku mu ngi play ñu ngi ko all the time yow oo yi sa friend so nga ne kii nañ ko na kii bàyyi kii mag na ak yooyu noonu yaa ngi gis players yoo xam ne ñu ngi dem ba ay 30 something ñu ngi play si national team ñem Ramos ñu ngi ni fii nii ñu ngi play ñu am ay 30 something years ñu ngi play wante fii rek nga gis Gambia da nga play benn ñaar rek ñem El Hadj Diouf ñem Fadiga play nañ ba kañ so da nga dem ñu play benn ñaar rek you know ñu ne la ni kii jeexal na nañ ko na génn si national team but at the end yow coach bi mooy decide kan la moo bëgg su coach bi toogee ni nii bëggatut man ma ñëw du ma loolu mun ma si dara de du ma ñëw da mu jël keneen ba nekkul ne ni tamit fans yow yaa nekk di decide kan moo war a ñëw you know lii dëkk bi leen ko defal fii Afrique ku nekk dafa decide pour play si national team bi ak kum as far as ne nii moom yaa ngi play football rek decide nga pour ñu oola parce que national team bi kenn moomut ko fii mun loo fay nekk ba faw da ngaa def li nga def nga génna keneen ñëw ñun suñ boppa ñun xam nañ loolu noonu ku nekk time nga fi am rek so lu gën a important rek soo fi nekkee defal li nga xam ne nii war nga koo def den sa morom su ñëwee moom tam mu def loolu noonu rek mu mujjee national team yëpp loolu la rek
sama football turn into football waaye daal ñoom they are mentally strong ñun wife si ñun family si fanaa ñun ñoo dee gën a lifin sa li nit ñi dee wax ñun la dee gën a disturb but with them naa du dee faale moom
lu nekk dégg
moom du dee faale
dégg nañ ko lu
I
nekk
think
la ñuy
they
dégg
mentally they are very strong and then it's
ñun dëkk bi moo ñu itteel loo xam ne nii lu ñoo def la pour dëkk bi la rek you know ak fu mu mun a nekkee mu nekk si football outside football you know fu ñu si oo tamit dinañ ñëw gis ne nii lu ñu war a def nañ ko bem mut you know
jërëjëf ndaa dañoo may Aminata Haidara moom tam mu am closing remarks balaa ñuy tëj Aminata Haidara you are muted if you can unmute okay you are unmuted now
yéen baal ma de dama dawoon jëli xale yi si school bi njaboot bi jaabante bi maa leen sant di leen gërëm yow tamit Samba amuloo morom and you have been doing a lot yak Hassan Jagne Hassan Njai I'm sorry I've been following you on Facebook most of the time and Lamin Sanyang and the rest of the team. It's really a pleasure to be part of it. I'm unfortunate I was unable to be part of everything. Madam Job, thank you so much for the initiative. I really appreciate it because Gambia suñ Gambia la ñun ñoo ko war a develop ba pare nekk ndaw ba pare start ñun ñëpp xam nañ maternal mortality is really sad in the Gambia, especially these days ak 2020 lu xew si jigéen yi ak matu lu ñu sonal la especially ñun ñi nga xam ne fii lañ yàlla may ñu amee fii suñuy doom care bu ñu am compared to ñun suñ yaay suñ tanta yi yuñ nekk we go through so sa initiative bi is really rewarding te man moom I'm so proud of you te dina xam ne after this show I will see how best to link with you inshallah. And coming back to the topic that is thanking our heroes fuñ mun a jaar dañoo sant yàlla at least Gambia léegi nii moom COVID bi wàññeeku na trop and loolu fuñ mun a jaar ñu thank the heroes and seen liggéey rafet na trop ñu ngi leen di ñaanal ba pare tam ñu ngi ñaanal kilifa diine yi seen ñaan nangu na ba pare dégg la Hassan lu doon wax before it was never easy it's everybody's contributions to pour ñu aaga fu ñu aaga fii nii so ñu ngi sant di gërëm képp ki nga xam ne liggéey na to make sure that we are able to achieve or Gambia is able to achieve lu ñu achieve lii fi mu nekk nii ba pare di close rek di wax ni especially the healthcare workers ñi nga xam ne dañ lose their lives in the fight am na nurses ñi nga xam ne dañ mujjee dee mënuñoo teewee bis bi tey so as Gambians or as young people or as activists or I just speak generally as human beings. Let's just see how best we can give support to those people. How can we celebrate the nurses that we are lost in the battle? How can we support their families emotionally? And also have empathy, putting our position or ourselves in their position is also very important. But we encourage people to talk. And Lujuma wax rek, my sister, whenever we're talking, let's just filter. How will I feel or how will somebody else feel? But I'm so sorry for the background noise. The kids are just
good. It's so good. Don't
something.
worry.
Alhamdulillah. So just what I was saying is like empathy. Let's just put our position like in those people's shoes. We footballers here, we healthcare workers here. People expect a lot from us. People expect a lot from the players, especially so you take that position. Either you're a healthcare worker, you're a footballer, people always expect a lot. But most of the time, luñ dee wax bali fetal la so xasee ba génn rek it's always difficult and it damages a lot. So nañ always consider the family members of these people that are struggling to make sure that we are okay, to make sure that we're happy in competitions and in everything. So on that note, maa ngi leen di sant di leen gërëm and thank you so much. Di ñaan yàlla sax fi jaama ak salaam di may ñu kàttan ak wérgu yaram ñu mën a continuer lu baax lu nit ñi di def ba pare. Thank you so much once again.
Aminata, I think that's a very nice way of closing. May wax balla, huh? Su génne rek daf dee gaañ, right? Okay, let me not expose business in one. Well, anyway, Gambians nañ moytu bàyyi xel si wax daal, you know, whether it's in football or in the health sector or generally our development. Sooy wax na nga make sure sa wax bi daal wax buy defar la, wax buy eete la, wax buy unite la, because if not you can, you know, su fekkee sa wax bi daal destruction rek la moo def noppil moo gën. I think we should be very mindful of that. Gis nga dëkk boo gis soxla na waxtaan, so waxtaan lañ soxla Gambia du coow. You know, we should be very careful of what we say when we say. And by the way, Maimuna has Amadou joining us on the phone. I can see Amadou joining us on the phone. So I would just stop there and have Hassan come with his final words. But like I said, nañ bàyyi xel si wax bi daal. Lamiñ dafa powerful. And make sure whenever we are talking, you know, we are using our tongues to build people, to help people than destroy people. A nation is built through its people. I need ñooy defar dëkk rek. So suñ usee suñ làmmiñ yi dimbala di build nit ñi individually, the country or the society would grow. Waaye suñ nekkee di yaakante benn ñu ngi wàññi doole dëkk bi. So if we have that in mind, we should always think before you utter a word, especially to people or about people. Hassan, words are powerful.
Well, I do not want to wish to add to those powerful closing statements that you give. Why? Fallback, the gërëm suñ gabi, everyone that came, the wax suñ healthcare workers yi ñoo xamante ne ñoo nekk di yëngu si bunti wérgu yaram bi. Yéen ngeen jëf gàcce gaalama di leen wax ne rek ngeen continuer di jàpp si liggéey bu baax boo leen nekk di def ni Ndeye Mariam waxoon na fi Red Cross tamit si lañ bokk ñoom it seen taxawaay rafet na parce que ñoom ñu ngi yore place boo xamante ne is a very important part mooy ñoo xamante ne ñoo faatu si feebar bi yóbbu leen pour mun a ñu sutura leen si jàmm ak kersa di leen gërëm xam naa at some point dinañ am gaay Red Cross yi tamit ñu ngi pour ñoom it ñu ñëw share seen experience waaye ñoom it seen taxawaay rafet na trop. So to all healthcare workers in the Gambia and abroad, most of those that were very active in the front line in the Gambia, thank you very much. You know, healthcare workers, not even if you pay them $1 million every month, you cannot pay them enough. The work that they do is invaluable. So only God can pay healthcare workers. Definitely. So to say that, thank you for all the services that you've rendered to the Gambian population. at a time when you don't have adequate resources, at a time when you don't even have the incentive, the resources to take care of your own families, but you waited the storm and you did all you could to ensure that Gambia does not register many cases. And unfortunately, we lost some men and women in the fight. We also pray and keep them in our prayers. May all their souls rest in peace. Thank you, Sam.
Jërëjëf Assane, duma si yokk dara. Just to thank everybody once again. It was good having you here. We kept you here for about 2 hours. I can't believe that, especially for people in Gambia and Europe. It's very late out there. You know, Nyomiro, MJ, Ibrahima, it's very late out there, but you stayed for these 2 hours. We thank you all. The conversation continues. What time we won't feed if I continue every Thursday. And there are many other platforms where we can always meet, talk, discuss about Gambia and how we can move it. This started as the COVID conversation, but now it's gone beyond that. We just wanted to create a platform where we just meet and discuss as a nation. suñu waxtaanee rek dégluwante nañ juboo dem si kanam inshallah. So jërë ngeen jëf everybody. We have a rendezvous for you next Thursday. It's every Thursday 5 p.m. Gambian time, 2 p.m. Eastern. I hope the club doesn't change anytime soon too. And whatever that time it is in the place you live, you know, we have a rendezvous for you next Thursday. Let's meet here, discuss about Gambia. Yet again, Jeff, thank you all for your time. Bye. Yeah. Thank you.